like our move-in date was one day. It was like called a great move-in day, and everyone moved in on the same day. So for me, it was very easy to say, okay, once you're moved in, we're gonna have a meeting. It was very simple. Well, I got back and I didn't even look at it because I was planning on doing that again. When I sent out that August letter is when I looked at it. So what, 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago, 2 weeks ago, something like that. And I was like, oh my goodness, like our guys are moving in on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. And then some of our guys that are new, because this is normally a new players parents meeting, are moving in like further away, not till Monday or Tuesday. So anyway, at the last minute, I'm talking to our staff, and I was almost like, hey, I'm just gonna forget it. And then I woke up Thursday morning, I'm like, no, we gotta do something, especially with the parents of our freshmen. So we thank you for coming. I think there's only one set that's not here. I met with them individually yesterday. We had a good time. So let me get out a little chair here. Set that stuff on, and we'll kind of roll. So I don't like to look down a lot when I'm talking, but I probably will for this. I've got a bunch of notes to go through, and some of them are scribbled, and some of them are not. But the purpose of the meeting is, number one, for you to get to, our staff is completely new, and you're all new to us. And so for us to kind of get to know you, and you get to know us just a little bit. The second purpose of the meeting is for you guys to kind of, you may already have met each other some, but to get to at least put a face with a name type of thing for each other. We'll overview the fall. We'll talk about some important dates. We'll answer any questions that you might have at the very end. And then hopefully make you feel comfortable leaving your son and heading home. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to kind of introduce our staff, but then I'll let our staff kind of introduce themselves. Coach Mixis, I'll brag about you for a minute, then you can tell us whatever you want, family, where you know. But Coach Mixis I've known for a long time. I was actually his junior college head coach back in 1999-2000. And so I've known this guy for a very, very long time. He has been a college baseball coach, a professional scout, and then most recently a high school head coach for maybe 12 or 13 years. They live in Auburn, Alabama, or Opelika right now, which is down there near Alabama. He's trying to get his family up, but I didn't even tell you I was going to have you say anything, but you got anything for us, Coach?
No, I got a chance to talk with him a little bit, but
Great.
Excited to be here, get to know your sons, and, you know, I guess over the last 20 years, you know, we realized the most important thing is the impact we get to have on your sons, and just looking forward to being at this level with Coach and being back with Coach again, and Coach B. But look forward to getting to know all of you a little bit more, especially your kids.
Thank you, Coach. Thank you. So I have Coach will kind of be like pitching, okay? And I say kind of because I'm involved heavily in pitching as well. So we'll tag team that, and we'll kind of roll from there. He'll be involved in other aspects of our program as well. Coach Ben Brooks. Coach Ben is he's our young guy, energy guy. He's 23. Played at the University of Memphis, was there 5 years, was their starting shortstop, hit over 300 this past year. Unbelievable. So I've gotten to know this guy in the past 2 or 3 weeks, and how can I say this nicely? This field was not in good shape. Like I look back at 2017, 18, 16, 15, the field was in really, really good shape. Like we take great pride in what we do, and I am not knocking anybody, I don't mean it that way. But it was in bad shape. So we've been trying here the past month, once we got the staff kind of hired. Coach Mix has only been on board a week, like officially.
Today, yeah.
So today's a week. So you know, we've been working, and just yesterday, this is a great example of what your sons are going to get with Coach Brooks. Coach Mixis and I are out there working, and he had been working all day already. I'm like, hey man, you're a young guy, get home, you know, go out on a date with your girl, whatever. He's like, Coach, man, that ain't me. I got to stay. I got to help. And so that's who he is. This guy's been awesome. Your sons are going to love him. But Coach Brooks, you had for a group?
You know, I wish, but Coach Mixis, I think, kind of said it all, man. Really just excited to be here, get going. That's all I got, really.
Awesome.
Easy
Thank you.
enough.
So as a goal, as our volunteer assistant, like he truly, that's what they are right now. The NCAA may make some changes on that, but for the moment, he's truly a volunteer. He has not made one penny in the month he's been with me. So we've got some camps coming up. That's how he is funded, and we've got that coming up, so we'll get him rolling. But he is going to, his goal and our goal, I hate to say this, is to get him out of here to a paid position as quickly as we can. And so that's our goal, and I don't think it's going to be very hard with him because I think he's going to be really, really good. Coach B is my dad. Coach B was with me for a little bit at Bevel Skate. He'd come down weeks at a time. My mom would let him leave Ohio and come down, and then my mom and him moved here maybe in like 2006 or 7, right in that range, and so he's been down helping me. And his objective when he first came down, I had part-time assistants, and so a bunch of young guys, and they were leaving like crazy because they couldn't, support a family, whatever. So I called Coach B and said, hey, you think you can get mom? And at the time, my grandma's passed away. My grandma had moved down. And he's like, yeah, I think we can make that happen. So his goal and objective was to come down and basically allow me to coach and do all that stuff that nobody knows that coaches do. Because people are like, hey, what do you do in the summer? Hey, what do you do? Like, are you just, taking all kinds of, hardly. But like getting hotels, getting buses, making sure the payments are being made back, all the receipts are being turned in. Any paperwork that you can think of, from academics to off campus to ordering equipment to helping schedule, whatever it may be, he took that off my plate. He has served every role for me, from an assistant coach to director of operations to director of player development. He'll be back in that role this year, and really, really blessed to have Coach B. Coach B, you got anything for us?
Just excited, to be around young people and your sons. I just look forward to meeting them and just, whatever impact we can have as a staff in a positive direction. That's our goal. You're not going to hear a lot of, bad stuff coming out of here. I'm sure of that. And I'm just so excited to meet them, and be around them, and maybe impact them over the course of time. I've got sons from back to 2007 that are now doctors, attorneys, have children. I've got to see them grow.
Yeah. So Coach B probably, he was pretty much full time with us before. He probably won't be here as much, but he'll be here, and he'll make an impact on our program for sure. And love you, Dad. Glad to have you here. So that's our staff. We have one more staff member, Mikey White. He is coming through. Let's see, played at the University of Alabama, second-round draft pick, played in Oakland A's organization, made it to AAA. As with a lot of guys, COVID kind of got in the way, and they released him. And then he got into college coaching. He was at Bragga last year. It was actually his first job. I got to know him in the past 6 to 7 months. Really, really fell in love with the guy, and really excited to have him here. He's an infield guy. Will do a great job helping our hitters, just like Coach Brooks will with our infield and hitters. And really excited to have him. They just had twins, and so he is with them. And his wife, who's been battling, I guess in pregnancy you can have some high blood pressure stuff, so she's been battling that a little bit as well, so he's sorry he couldn't be here today. But that's Coach White, and he'll do a phenomenal job with your kids. So what we'll do now, we'll put you right on the spotlight here, and we can go either direction. It can be both of you, tell us, your husband, wife, just the husband, just the wife, but introduce yourselves, tell us who your son is, what position, where you're from. I guess that's it, because everyone here's a freshman. So you don't have to tell us a year, but if you guys want to start us off, that'd be great.
I'm Vanessa Jinks.
I'm Brett Jinks. Kane Jinks is mom and dad. He's a dual guy, pitches, plays anywhere really. But we're from northeast corner of Georgia. I tell people, and they're like, where's that? Right on the Georgia-South Carolina line, Carnesville, Georgia. Just really excited to be here. I'm originally from Knoxville, so a lot of guys that I went to school with play here. So
Awesome.
It's really cool.
Yeah, great. Well, good to see you guys. Let's go here.
Martha Strickland,
Kirk Strickland.
and Lawson's our son, and he's probably the catcher.
Yeah, great.
And North Alabama catcher.
Great, fantastic. Thank you. How about we'll go all the way over here?
I'm Stephanie, and this is my husband Rob, Lana, and we're from Clarksville, about 2 hours from here. And our son is Brody, and he's one of the pitchers.
Awesome. Thank you. How about here?
Doug and Barry Pustiowski. Our son's Kennick. He's a left-handed bat, plays first base. So we're just been great meeting a lot of you guys already. So look forward to a lot of times down here. So
Where are you from?
We're from up by Iowa City.
Yeah.
Iowa, so about 10 hours away.
Yeah, so they've got a little different. So their son, their high school season is one of 2 in the country. that plays in the summer. Is that right?
Yeah.
So they're one of two in the country. What's the Alaska is the other one? Is that right?
I'm not even sure.
Okay.
All I know is when you had the opportunity to come down here, it was like no more cold weather in the spring. Because all the travel stuff's in the spring, high school. Boy, it's just so cold.
Oh, so they flip it. They go travel in the spring. I got it. Awesome. Awesome. We'll go in the back here.
Brad and Honey Beasley, we're from Birmingham, Alabama. Our son is Josh Beasley, and he's his pitcher. So we're thrilled to be here. Very excited to work with him.
Awesome. Great. And then we'll finish up over here.
And my daughter here.
Sorry.
She's a fifth-year college student in Birmingham and has this year and one more to go in professional school, so
Awesome.
she's our voice of reason.
Awesome. Where are you at and what school?
I'm at Sanford Pharmacy School.
Oh, great. Oh, that's what a great location that is.
Yes.
Sanford's a nice location. Right across the street is that path, and right, yeah, and there's a mall down the road. So, anyway, awesome. Glad to have you.
I'm Nicole Pease.
I'm Doug Pease. We got Jackson. He's a pitcher. We left our daughter in the car. She's not. The voice of reason. It's a better place for her. Yeah, we're from Knoxville. Jackson played at Fairhill in high school, so we're thrilled to be here.
Awesome. That's great. Well, good. Well, good to see you guys. Like I said, there's some years where we have like 12 or 14 sets of parents that are here, and so it takes a little longer, but good to see you guys. Good to see you guys. So now the next thing is just some things to kind of go over, some that seem pretty important to me, and some I've just got down from past years that maybe aren't that important. Medical paperwork. Each of your sons was given some paperwork to fill out. Those need to get to Coach Brooks and Coach Mixis as soon as you possibly can. Okay, maybe you've already got it to him, but make sure they know that, and if they need help with that, maybe help them finalize that and get those to our two coaches. Our trainer, we would normally say get them to our trainer. Our trainer, I told this to maybe one or two of you, I loved our guy. He was on here within 4 or 5 months, but I loved him. And I hate to say that because it'd be better if I didn't like him and he left. But I loved him, he left. His reason for leaving is college athletics is busy. And he's working management construction in town now. And he said, I've got a more normal job to see my girl, etc. And so I certainly understand that and can appreciate that. They're in the process of hiring a trainer right now. And so I'm sure that'll go well, but for the time being, get your medical records to those two guys. Insurance at the school is secondary coverage, unless you don't have primary coverage. But it's secondary coverage. So what that means is whatever, this is what they tell me, don't hold me to this, but your primary takes charge, right? And then whatever's left, the secondary comes in. So that's the way that typically works. If your son is on a meal scholarship, and some are and some aren't, but if they are and he uses it all, then the scholarship is gone. Okay, then it kind of comes to your pocket, so to say, to get him through the rest of the semester. I've never had an issue with this, but I'm just bringing it up because it's something that I've had written down for 20 years, okay, because it used to be something. Here's one that, man, I don't mean to be negative. I hate that we have to do this some, and I didn't use this on the recruiting front, and I'm sorry. But I wasn't like I was trying to avoid it. It's just it doesn't come up. It's something that I don't brag about. Hey, we do have to do some fundraising here. And we do ask that your guys, our sons, get involved a little bit. As much as but it is what it is. And in order to compete at the level that we are going to compete at, it's a very important type thing for us. And so with that, we've got a 100-inning game that we typically have done in the past. We may change that up a little bit. I know when I left, they turned it into like a home run derby. The guys may like that more. I have no idea. The 100-inning game was a wiffle ball, so they seem to like that a lot as well. But what we ask, and this is asking something, and I know if I'm in your chair and we have a son that's 17 and daughter's 15, it's like, oh wow, really? It's hard to ask. We ask for a list of 25 names and addresses that your sons have people they've connected with over the years, and just, hey, here, we'll write them a letter, they'll write them a handwritten letter and send something out. And then we're not going to hold it against, hey, not going to hold it against anybody, but it's something that's important. We'd like each guy to get to $300, is what we would like, okay? And there's some stuff that goes into that, but that's one thing we ask help with. We will do some hat sales, which I know as dads, you can probably, it'd be something you might want. Beanies, t-shirts, things of that nature. We will do some of that as well. T-shirts we may not be allowed because of some restrictions on campus, and maybe even they've changed that since I've been here. We might not even be allowed to do hats. I'm not 100% sure. I'll find out. We'll do an alumni phonathon. Very important to our program. I know I played in Kentucky. If Kentucky called me, I would donate to Kentucky. I love that place. That's my alma mater. I would give back to them in a heartbeat, especially if a player called me. Haven't had that, but if they did, that's what we would do. Understand, and you guys know this, I'm not being condescending in any way, money is never a reason to play. So let's say you decide to give 100,000 in the program, great. It doesn't mean your son's gonna get on the field. He has to be good, right? So understand that, again, that goes without being said. We will also do community service. This is something that the university requires through the NCAA, and it's about 20 hours a year. So that's a lot to me. But they have the opportunity. We will get involved with local little leagues where they will go over and help coach teams, get involved with the 9, 10, 12-year-old kids to, those kids will really respect your sons. They'll go over in their little jersey, TTU jersey, that type of thing. That'll be one thing. Camps, we host a lot of camps right here. And they are allowed to volunteer their time to our camps. It's a great way to get community service in. There's some local events that go on in town. And it's a great thing to do. I always tell guys, I heard someone say once, wow, we've all heard this. If you gotta do it, be the best at it. So you always see the sign guys, they're holding a stop sign in traffic. I heard a story once, there's this guy that wanted to be the best sign guy in the world because that was his job. So he literally would get in front of a mirror, holding the sign up and waving traffic through, and you're like, man, that guy loves what he does. And then he'd bring a smile to people's faces. So we ask our guys, because we get it, when we were 18 and 21 and 22, 19, 17, we didn't like to do that. I gotta be honest, I didn't. You may have loved doing that, I don't know, but I didn't love it. So we asked our guys to be uncommon. Because the common thing is, okay, I'm gonna stand here with my sign, right? And that way. And we don't want that. We want uncommon in everything we do. And so we're gonna ask them when they do the community service, they still gotta go do it, but we ask them to do it to the best of their ability. Next portion. I don't know if I'd call this team rules. I've got written down here a review of team rules. I don't think that's, I guess this is just what we ask of our guys, or a few of the things. Heard this from Pat Summit, the women's basketball coach who passed away from the University of Tennessee, one of the best in the business. She would ask her student athletes to discipline themselves so no one else has to. Just make good decisions and you're going to end up in a great spot. Think before you act type of thing. And I've always loved that. As coaching staffs, I think a great way to say it, I've heard this from another coach a long time ago, but we're going to be obviously loyal to your 18, 17, 22-year-old sons as well. But our job is to be loyal to your 30-year-old son. Make them understand, hey, it's not always, there's gonna be some tough times right now. We're gonna discipline you when we have to. Whether it's on the field, hopefully not off the field. But we're gonna put them in a spot where when they're 30, they'll look back and be like, oh, I get why coaches did that. And we've had examples of that. 2016, I had a perfect example. I had to get rid of a few guys off of our, from our team because of some things that happened. And I think for sure 1, 2, 3 of those young men look back at that. I know this for a fact. They're like, Coach, I hated it at the time, but wow, thank you. And that's a tough thank you because when you're kicked off of a team and you don't think you should be at that time, it's hard to look back 5 years later and say thank you for that. I learned a great valuable lesson. And that's what I mean when we're going to be loyal to them, obviously now, but we're also thinking down the road. So understand that about our coaching staff. When we talk about discipline, we always tell our guys, there's parties, right, that you go to. Everyone here was in college probably at one point or gone to a party at one point in your life, and you're going to have a decision to make when you're there. You're going to have alcohol or you're not going to have alcohol. And I want tough guys. We want tough guys. And we all know the easy decision is, well, she's drinking, he's drinking, she's drinking, he's drinking, she's drinking, he's drinking, okay, I'll drink. That's the easy decision, the common decision. We want our guys, again, it's not going to be perfect. It's not. We all know that not one program in the country is perfect in this realm. But we ask our guys, be the tough guy. Because the tough thing to do is, I'm good. I can have fun. You know, whether I've got that in my hand or I don't. And it's so easy to be common. We want uncommon toughness. I'm good. I'm still going to have fun. Right? So we ask things when you're disciplining yourself. That's how you do it. We'll ask them with our buses, our hotels we stay at, whether they're in the CAF or over here on the field or in the community, wherever it may be, to be uncommon. When they leave a hotel room, it's very easy as young people to leave my candy wrappers here, leave my Coke bottle there, whatever it may be. We are asking them and telling them and guiding them that when we are on the road, if a coach comes and checks your room the day of a checkout, that it looks spotless. Because someone's mom or sister or dad or brother is cleaning that room. And so how would you want to leave it if it was, moms maybe don't answer this, but if it was your mom or your sister or whoever it may be, you're garbage. You don't want to leave it bad. You want to leave it great. So they don't have to do the work that you should have done. That's disciplining yourself so we don't have to. Classroom academics wing program, we've had great success here over the years. And most of you know Dr. Samantha Bates. I didn't know she had a doctorate, but Dr. Samantha Bates, and she has been phenomenal in my 6 months here, as has that whole office, led by Levita Birdwell, done a marvelous job. We will ask your guys to obviously attend class. That's the most important thing. It's why they're here. We will ask them to sit in the front 3 rows, or at least in the middle section of the class, and we will ask them to communicate with the professors on a regular basis. We all know that's their best tutor. And I would suggest you guys as parents, if they're struggling in a class, see coaches, which we will have meetings with all of your sons. Our staff, they'll meet with their position coach. So pitchers will meet with Coach Mixis weekly. Infielders will meet with Coach White weekly. Outfielders will meet with Coach Brooks weekly. You get the idea. So that's how that will be done. They'll also have meetings with Dr. Bates, okay, and meet with her weekly. And that way we keep tabs on them and know what they're doing. But if they're struggling, their best person to see is the professor. That's their best tutor they can have. And we all know the relationship you have with that person, you might be sitting at a 79 at the end of the semester. And they're like, man, this guy or this gal was constantly talking about what they can do to be better. You know what? They deserve the 80. I'm going to give them a B. They earned it because of that communication. So it wasn't unearned. It was earned, but because they did it the right way. And we will do great in class. I think this spring, unbelievable. Our guys had like a 3.24, and I didn't have much to do with that. I think it was them and then our support staff. Practices, not much to go into here. We will have the best practices in the country. Okay? And I don't mean, it sounds arrogant, sorry. We will have the best practices in the country. Most organized, most energy, most passionate, most structured, you name it, at every aspect and every phase of the game. Appearance. This has been a tough one for me over the years. I'm a Yankee fan. I don't have any hair. So, not that I'm judging the guys that do it, I don't mean it that way. But I've always been, hey, short hair and no facial hair. Like that's how back in 2016, that's where I was at. And going into fall of 16, spring of 17, I had some older guys asking me, hey coach, is there any way we could have facial hair and, please? And so I was home one day talking to my girl, my wife, and she's like, Matt, like, do you really want to, like, don't you have bigger battles to fight than that? And I'm like, probably do. So we've said, hey, as long as it's like your guys, it looks good, it looks clean, right? Then we're A-okay. And so we've allowed that. What I told him is I don't want to become a facial hair or hair judge. So long hair, I'm at an influx. I actually called my wife yesterday from work. I'm like, what do I do with the long hair? Because guys' hair's like growing these days, it seems like. And maybe I need to let them enjoy it while they got it. But I don't know what we're going to do. We just want to make sure that we look good. That's all. So just understand, I'm not even sure what will go there. We just want to be a classy program. Our guys will randomly get drug tested this year. That's a training decision on who gets that. It's not like I'm like, hey, this guy, this guy, this guy. That's not how that works. I mean, unless something goes bad in that random drug test, then it does work that way. But drug testing will happen. I think I look back at some situations. My first full year here back in the spring of '05, trying to build this program right. We don't just coach talent, we coach the heart. And when you're coaching the heart, you're trying to do things the right way. We mess up, we're human, but we're trying to do things the right way. So we had 3 of our best players, and we weren't very good, but we had 3 of our best players fail a drug test. This was maybe January of '05. So it's the last time that we had that, I think, except for a steroid thing that the kid bought something at GNC back in 2009, whatever that was. But anyway, so I called them in, and our rules are strict. Baseball is strict. Like, hey, that's one, that's your warning, I love you, but doggone it, we gotta be better. So we gave them some ramifications that I'm allowed to do through our athletic department. Test you anytime I want, random, second offense, you're gone. You gotta promise me you won't do it again, like those types of things. Well, guess what? They came into my office before a second drug test and said, hey, shoot me straight, we gotta take you over there and test you, you guilty or not? And all 3 of them said, yeah, we're guilty. And I'm like, okay, well, you're gone. And it was our 3-hole, our 5-hole, and our Saturday starter. And in a program when we were trying to build it up, like the school doesn't say second offense, you're gone. It's 3rd. The school rule is, but I'm like, you know what? We gotta be a little more strict than that. We gotta, even if it costs us games, we're coaching the heart. Not necessarily all the time. We're coaching just the talent. Yeah, let's push that under the rug, right? That's not what we do. Gotta have that strong, firm foundation built on rock that's biblical. And then we build that, we build that, we build that. And we took a step back because of it on the field, but in the long run, it led to 2008, 2009, 2010, 2013, 2017, 2018, 2000, whatever, championships. That's what led to that. So please understand, I don't know how I got into all that from, well, yeah, I knew that's the drug testing part of it. Next thing, many freshmen struggle. I think that's important to know as a parent because we all want them to go on like, oh, this is going to be great, like college. It's all going to go perfect. It's not all going to go perfect. It won't. Matter of fact, some guys leave. And sometimes that's maybe okay. But what I would ask you as parents is urge them to stay. Fight through it. Fight through it. You can do this. You can make it. Because they're going to struggle. And I'm telling you that's just the way what I've seen over the years. I've had a lot of success stories, but I've had more struggle stories. If I give you a number, when I'm recruiting guys, I may have said this to a son or 2 in here, not everyone. It gets missed on some visits or calls. But I would say out of 100% of freshmen, about 30%, 25% come in and they're like, respect everyone in the room, but I'm going to play. I'm going to find a way on that field. And the other 75 to 80% or 70% are like, hey, I'm really good. Ooh, so is everyone else. I think I'll take a back seat this year. And then next thing you know, even though they're good ball players, they've gotten past, right? Or they never caught up to someone that was already here really good. And so those guys have a tendency to struggle a little bit more. But it's okay. Like I said, 70 to 80% are in that category. So your son's not alone. But I think telling them that, if I have it, that hey, be that 25% that believes, respect everybody, that you're going to find a way on the field, like be that 25%, that will help them. Because a lot of times the struggles are built around the field, or academics, or off the field. Hey, I'm not fitting in. Hey, I'm missing my mom. Hey, I'm missing my dad. Whatever it may be, push them. They're going to be okay. This is how they grow into young men. It's okay for adversity. I've got that written down here. It's okay to have some adversity. Something from the Bible, you'll see many times over, even though, I will. Like, even though I walk through the shadow valley of death, whatever, I will have no fear. I'm saying that in my own words. But like, so I've taken that to a baseball concept with our guys, because not every guy in our team's a Christian, and that's perfectly okay. But I've taken that and I said, hey, listen, this is so strong in Habakkuk. Like, even though my olive tree, it's bad, but I will. And I think baseball, it's the same way. Even though school is hard, even though, I'm having trouble finding the right friends immediately, even though, I'm struggling on the field, even though I'm farther from home than I've ever been, I will persevere. I will do the job. I will make this work. I will find a way on the field. I will excel in the classroom. I will make it at Tennessee Tech. So the I will, that's such a great mindset, even though, I will. All right, so that's what we ask. There's going to be adversities along the way. Have that type of mindset. And we will help them. Your coaches are here to help. We're not here to hurt anybody. It's not like, well, you know what, you're not quite as good on the field, so we don't like you. Oh, you're really good, so we love you. No, that's not how it is. If we're doing that, we won't win championships. From a coaching staff perspective, that won't happen. The only way that would ever happen is if the talent was just through the roof. You're just better than everybody you play, then maybe you can get away with that. But that's not what you're going to get from our staff. Our staff will care about your son whether he's having great success or not. That I can guarantee you. We had a young man here, this is huge from an assistant coach standpoint, it was actually Coach B. We had a freshman here who believed he was one of the 20, he was one of that 25%. His name was Austin Wolf. Came into our program, and I didn't think he was very good. Coach B had recruited him back when he was a accountable coach, and not that I thought he was bad, I thought he was a couple years away. Hey, he'll play as a junior, right? So in 2009, we start the year, and he's not played the first 12 games, and we're struggling. Coach B goes, hey, Bragga, let's get this guy in there. Dad, he's no good. Not good enough yet. So 3 more games go by, we're still struggling. Hey, this is what assistant coaches, right? Hey, Wolf, get Wolf in there to help him. No, he's not good enough. 3 more games. I'm stubborn, right? About game number 20, he tells me again for the 4th time, he didn't give up, coaches. He kept coming at me. And I'm like, you know what? Let's put him in there. I'll put him in the 9 hole. We'll put him in left field, which is a big spot. But then just kind of see. That kid never came out the rest of his career. 2nd all-time hit leader here with a kid I just told you I didn't think was that talented. And he just persevered, one of the greatest leaders we've ever had here. So there's a success story for you that started out what most people would see is, oh, well, I'm 20 games in, I haven't played, Coach Bragga doesn't really have faith in me, I'm just going to bury myself over here, Reese McDuffie. I'm just going to bury myself in the corner. And he didn't do that. He kept going and kept going, even though I will, right? So it was pretty awesome success story. Great, great kid. Love that kid. So anyway, parent-coach relationship. And I'm going to kind of read this one to make sure I don't miss it. But I've had very few problems over the years. Very, very few. The ones I have, we all know, where do they stem from? Playing time, right? Because we all think, hey, our son is the greatest, he's the best, you know? We've all gone through that. Hey, why is he hitting the 7-hole today? He's a 3-hole hitter, right? Why do they have him out in left field? He's a shortstop, right? Why is he not pitching on Friday night? Why do they have him pitching on Tuesday? Why is he not playing at all? Like, we all, I get it. Like, I get it. I'm a dad, 17-year-old son, 15-year-old daughter. We've all been there. We all understand that. And so we'll get into that just in a little bit more. I don't know why over the years I should probably change. I come back. It must be important to me. Because I come back to it in like 2 points, 2 bullet points later. But what I would say is, we care about them, like I said a few minutes ago, whether they're playing or not. If they're the last guy on the bench, well then as a parent you tell them, will you be the best last guy on the bench that there is in the country? If they're the superstar, will you be the best superstar? You be an even better superstar than there's ever been. Like just be the best you can possibly be.
Alex Jr.
Alex
Maybe
Jr.
mention Alex Jr.
Alex Jr. 2000, he would have been a redshirted in 2015. And he's from a Nashville, Tennessee guy, center fielder. My coaches brought him in, Coach Turner and Coach Church, who I love. They run the Exposure Baseball program now down in Chattanooga. And they were with me here as my 2 paid guys, and Coach B went to like a volunteer position. They brought in Alex Jr. And same thing, he gets here his freshman year, and the guy's like, he's not quite good enough. Well, guess what? He redshirted. Foul balls hit the net, the backstop, drop to the ground back here along the backstop. Normally it's like your guy in the hole goes and gets it. Not that year. Alex Jr. redshirting, sprints out there faster than anyone can sprint because he was a fast kid anyway, he became a guy. And he believed in himself and worked his way into being a draft pick in 2018 and helping our team go to Super Regionals 1 game from Omaha. And so there's another success story of a guy that didn't have success at all his freshman year. And I think it was a red shirt. So you look at that and you say, make him stay. Because you never know what can happen. We never know as coaches. Those two young men, what I just telling you? Not good enough. Not good. My gosh, like I got chills. Wolf led us to 2 championships. Junior led us to 2 championships in a super regional. So thanks for bringing him up, Coach B. Alex Jr., great guy. What we do want from you guys, your trust. I've said it like 3 times, but we care about your sons. Whether they're a walk-on like I was my first few years in college, or whether they're the big money scholarship guy, we care about them. That I can promise. That we don't see that. Well, it's not pro ball. Pro ball, they see big money. We've invested in him. Free agent. He better really do it because we'll get rid of him in a heartbeat. That's not the way this works. Okay, this works. Big money or not, we love you. Big money or not, we love you. Big money or not, we love you. You're better than him, great, you'll play. You're better than him, great, you'll play. He won't, regardless. Money, no money, etc., etc. So we want your trust, knowing that we care about you guys. We want your support. And I'm not talking financial. Our goal is that your sons have such a great experience here that you'll get back to the program when they're gone. That would be my goal. Now don't get me wrong, if you, hey, listen, he's got to fundraise $300 and you have the funds to do it and you get great. Now I'm not telling you you can't do that. I'm just saying that our goal would be, hey, have such a great experience that you look back and you say, we want to support that program. And we have many parents that do that. Encourage your son, what we want from you. Encourage your son. We've talked about that over and over. Man, just lift them up. It's going to be good. It's going to be good. It's going to be good. Go see coaches. You got to go see coaches. Like it'll all work out. Help us in recruiting. Whether you're a dad or a mom, if you know somebody or a daughter, and you know somebody that you're like, hey, this is a really good player, and someone needs to see him, see Coach Mixes, see Coach White, call Coach Brooks, and tell them about them. And that's the guys that do our list. So help us in recruiting. What we do want from you, player support, right? Health, safety, decisions of our guys. Help us to move mountains here. People are like, oh, you can't go to Omaha. Like, we got new nameplates coming, but this isn't them, I promise. But these, hey, it's better than athletic tape, Coach. I appreciate that. but like people are like, oh, they can't go to Omaha. Look at their locker room. They don't have signs up. Look at their hallway. They and this isn't all our trophies, by the way. I think they stole some over to Bragga Center. But like prayer, you need it. So we want your prayer support in our program to get the most out of our players and keep them healthy, strong, growing, etc. Here, I'm coming back to that whole point that it says going to hit on again. What we don't want from you, don't coach our team. And again, I use the word condescending. I'm not trying to be that way at all. I'm just telling you, don't coach our team. If your son is not playing, and it's a possibility that happens, don't call him. And here's what I'm going to tell you. I'll tell it to you right now. This is not intramurals. Okay, this is the real deal. I want to win more than anybody wants to win. This is coming from a guy that got fired, right? Because I didn't win enough. They were wrong. But I didn't win enough. I was thinking about that last thing. So just know, what I would tell you is, hey, right now they're not good enough. Y'all say, well, he's not getting chances in games. He's a gamer. Well, we inter-squad, we practice all the time. They're going to get so many opportunities right there to earn that. So that's all I would tell you is they have their opportunities. Right now he's not good enough. Tell him to keep working, even though he will, right? That's all I say. So just kind of understand that. You can talk to me about pretty much anything else. Although sometimes people tell me I want to approach, well, I hate that. But you can talk to me about anything else that you want. Okay, just not about the playing time. And if your son, you can even advise your son, hey, whatever, Nathaniel, you're not happy with your playing time, you feel like you're better than that, like type of thing, go visit with coach, but don't ask him about playing time. Because he's going to tell you exactly what he told us in the meeting. That right now you're not good enough. This isn't intramurals, right? Like, so, but what can I do? Coach, what can I do? I feel like I'm close. What can I do as a player to put myself over the top? Great. I'll have that conversation with the players any day of the week. What you can expect from us. Emphasis on priorities. Like, I'm going to tell you guys straight up right now, you know this, most of you know this, I love Jesus Christ. And so, from a priority perspective, God is in the center of I falter, right, because I'm human. So I say this, and you're going to be like, hey, how come you cussed the other day at practice if God is in the center? Well, I'm human. That's going to slip every once in a while, right? But God is in the center, and so what you can expect from us is that priority thing of, I'm not going to, if someone in this room is not a Christian, it's okay. Hopefully, right? But it's okay, 100%. And we're not going to play favorites. Well, he's a Christian, he's playing. He ain't as good as that guy. That guy's a non-Christian's on that diamond, right? As long as he's doing the other things right. But I think you're going to get that from us, and I think because of that, and again, biblically, work as if you're working for the Lord, like, you're going to get great passion from us. You're going to get great energy from us. You're going to get great enthusiasm from us. And you're going to get coaches that care. That I can absolutely promise you. What you can expect from us, an emphasis on academics. Most guys don't play Major League Baseball. We got a lot drafted here over the years. If you compare us to a lot of mid-majors, like, we blow them out of the water. At least there was a 12-year run where we blew them out of the water. And so we've had that, a lot of guys get that opportunity. The 20 rounds, by the way, is a bad thing. Because I was looking the other day, I know of these 2 big leaguers that I coached that were not in the top 20 rounds that made it to the big leagues. So it makes me so sad that MLB has gone to a 20-round draft. A guy like Coach Brooks, we're lucky, Coach, that there's only 20 rounds. But from his perspective, he's probably would have been drafted 5 years ago, before COVID. So, but we will emphasize academics because we know that that's what they're going to need, and it's so important. What else you can expect from us? A family approach, doing it the right way. My example earlier of the drug situation with those 3 young men, we're going to do it right. You got to build on rock, and we will build this thing on rock. A balance of love and discipline. Oftentimes as coaches, you'll get a question like, Coach, do you want them to respect you or like you? And I'm like, I have to pick one. Like, I want both. And I don't want them to just like me. I want them to love me. You think about your kids, your sons that you're dropping off, like, I would, probably say that every single one of them would say, hey, I love my parents, and I respect the heck out of my parents. Right? At the end of the day, whether you think that all the time or not, I guarantee they love you and they respect you. So as a coach, I want the same thing. I want them to love me, I want them to love our staff, and I want them to respect the heck out of us. And so we're gonna do it just like we would if our own son, our 17-year-old son, was in this locker room. We're gonna run it the way that if Coach Mix's daughter, who's only in 3rd grade, was in this locker room, we're gonna run this program that way. It doesn't mean we're perfect. Again, I said I will slip up and say a cuss word occasionally. Although every year my goal is not to, and I think I've accomplished it once. So I look at Coach B because he knows that he's around a lot. But I think, and at home every once in a while I'll slip up too, right? So anyway, just know that you can expect a family approach and a balance of love and discipline. What else you can expect from us? We're going to challenge their growth as a person, whether it be in the community, whether it be on the field, whether it be numerous other ways, relationships, communication. We will challenge them as a person, and we will obviously challenge them as a player. Their growth as a player. We don't have to go into that. We take very seriously you loaning us your sons. That doesn't go light on us. We understand what that is and what that means. And so we're excited to be a part of that. I do not have, do you have an extra fall date sheet, Coach, that I can take from you? Thank you.
Yep.
We're going to go through fall dates here really quick, guys, and kind of get this thing rolling. All right. So if we look at this, normally I highlight what I really want to hit on, so I'll probably miss something. But you've got this fall schedule here, and you can kind of look at it. It gives you the gist of what our fall looks like. There's really, we got a bunch of meetings, week 1, week 2, week 3, we start, looks like week 2, we start lifting on Thursday and Friday. Got a great strength staff, they do a great job up there. Week 3, we get into some like specialty work. We test in week 3 strength, speed, athleticism, and endurance. That's a very fun week. I don't know if the guys would always say that, but it's a fun week for me as a coach. Week 4, specialty work. Looks like there's a fall fun fest thing. You guys get the gist. I think you can read that. The fall is broken down into 3 parts. So from August 18th, which is our first team meeting and the first day of school, until September 26th, we do specialty work, 8 hours a week, and lifting. Like it's 8 hours a week of baseball. Now, when you're talking to your sons, if they're saying, yeah, I'm doing my 8 hours, like you might say, hey, like it probably takes more than that. Like remind them that it takes more. We can't force them to do that. But from your end, in all honesty, pitchers, it doesn't take as much. Hitters, it just extra ground balls, extra cuts. And don't get me wrong, pitchers work incredibly hard, as you know, who have sons that are pitchers. But it is a little different. They can only make so many throws, where hitters can just keep on hitting and keep on fielding. So, but that's from August 18th till September 26th. Then from September 27th until the second segment, September 27th till about November 10th, we go into our team practice, which is 20 hours a week. And so we get in there, we do a lot of inter squads. I think we got 19 inter squads this fall. Some of that's because we don't have enough pitching, quite honestly. We've got enough for a season, but from an inter squad perspective, right now we got about 14 or 15 guys healthy. And that is a very, very small number. I think we have 18 on our staff, but only 14 or 15 healthy coming in. So inter squad about 19 times. Dads always ask the question, and moms, hey, can we come watch? You can come watch anytime. Practice, inter squad. Some days are funner than others, more fun than others. But in the fall, we do not do a ton of weekends. So, and I do that on purpose. Because in the spring, from January 15th until June something, it is, you won't see him. And I know like from Iowa, he's probably not gonna get home on a random Saturday or Sunday anyway. And there's a lot of other guys that'll be here with him, so you don't have to worry about that, and people on campus. But they'll have a break from baseball. Don't tell them that, because I've changed it up some. But from my perspective to you, I think right now we only schedule practice on 4 weekend days. So from a dad's perspective, maybe or mom, you want to watch your son play, find out, I'll let them know over time when those dates are. Okay, in terms of weekends, if you want to come up and watch. We do not have a fall game this year. That was done on purpose. We're allowed 2. We do not have them. Okay, we do a lot of interesting, creative things in its place that we enjoy to make it very competitive. So that's until November 10th, roughly. Then from a November 11th, they're done. They got like 1 week. November 11th, we're doing a little bit of fundraising. We're doing an OVC Champions Challenge, and then they're done. And then they're home for the finals, and then they're home for Christmas for a long, long time. Too long, in my opinion. You'd probably be happy about that. So that's what our fall dates are. Any questions? There's got to be somebody who has a question. Nobody? Got a question? Yeah, here's one.
So it says all for practice for fall break. We
Yes.
usually try to get away for just a few days. Or not
Saturday.
gonna miss anything, they're not gonna be punished.
Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday.
Okay.
Those 4 days. We will practice that Friday. Practice on Fridays typically starts at 1:15.
Okay.
I think it's an inter squad day. Probably done by 4. If you're looking at a late flight on Friday, probably done by about 4:15 or 4:30. We may lift that day as well, which never mind. That might make it about 6 when they're done. So, but you're off the next 4 days. Good question. So that's a time to get him home from here. So for sure. Anything else? Yes, Coach B.
What do you expect them to do over break? Like, it's a long break for Christmas, they may be home for what, 4 or 5 weeks?
Yeah.
From a baseball perspective, as a dad or whatever, what do you expect your son to do?
Yeah, they need to come back in the best shape of their lives. They'll be sent home with a strength program. They'll be sent home with a conditioning program. They'll be sent home with a throwing program. So they'll have those 3 things taken care of. The hitting is pretty much on their own. But you guys all know this, the best guys work the hardest. It is what it is. And so that's kind of what we expect over any break, whether it's Christmas, summer, whatever it may be. Anything else? Summer ball, really quick, and then I'll get to you. But summer ball, I would probably encourage them to try to get with one of our coaches at our first meeting and say, hey, I'd like to play. Now, some of our pitchers we end up shutting down even if we get them a spot. Position player wise, we'd like them to probably go. The only way that we wouldn't want that is, man, we got a worker and he's having trouble putting on weight. And we know that he is going to do more and above and beyond what even Coach Hewitt gives him from a strength perspective, and we want him to stay home to just focus on that. That would be maybe the one type exception. Or like I said, if a pitcher is throwing too many innings, or we just need to give him a break. So, Coach B, what else?
Yeah, you mentioned a 20-hour week for my son. They want to work. What's available for them to do extra? Like, is the field available? The hitting kit?
It's open all the time. Matter of fact, it's open too much. We have a gate out here that looks locked. It is not locked. They can get in that thing anytime they want. There's a passcode to the clubhouse. The Hack Shack. Hey, you guys will love this as freshman parents. So these are the 2 things that are on the horizon in a hopefully very short time period. The field is going to get turf. That should be next summer. So that I'm incredibly excited about. And our Hack Shack, this building out here, appropriately named, will still be called the Hack Shack. I love it. But it's going to be enhanced. It's going to be made bigger. There'll be an area for pitchers. There'll be some auxiliary weights in there, which we used to have back here. We no longer have that. That's changed since the last time I was here. And then there'll be some great areas for hitting. So that is coming. That should be done hopefully next summer as well. So those 2 things are on the horizon. But this facility is literally open to them when they need to get work in. And we want them to. That's how we get that.
In fact, there were some guys here at 10 o'clock last night that popped in.
Were there?
Yeah, they
Awesome.
popped in. I don't know if they don't have cable or something, or no food in there, but they came in last night.
That was good.
As far as summer goes, would you reckon the summer ball staying up in this area? Or go back to?
As freshmen, probably a couple options. There's more than a couple options. The very best summer league in the country is the Cape Cod. So that's the best, way up there in the Northeast. There are others where if you were ranking them, you'd say that's maybe the New England Collegiate or the North Woods are probably been. Is there another one up middle? Right, top.
Coastal Plain League.
Coastal Plain League, kind of probably in that order, right? That's probably number 4. And that's over in the Carolina area. The Valley League's in the Virginia area. What's the Great Lakes League up in kind of Ohio, Illinois? So it's kind of spread out. The Jayhawk League in Kansas. So there's kind of different ones, but there are definitely leagues. Like there's a new Ohio Valley League. But none of that's like right here, but maybe like Southern Kentucky. Not a great league, but it is a great league because you're playing ball. And I shouldn't say that. Like compared to the Cape, it's not a great league because you have a lot of young guys. And the Cape has sophomores and juniors, not freshmen. So I shouldn't say that. Ohio Valley's a great league. And we've had some guys up there this year, they did a really good job. And I think they had a great time. So there's a league right in Atlanta, right? The perfect game, Sunbelt. Like so Kane just goes there and plays. Like I would be fine. It's about playing ball, honestly. And there might be something in that Alabama area that he can get into. Heck, one year when I was in college, like I needed to get bigger and stronger. I like played in it wasn't really men's league, it was like a college league, but there were definitely, we had a dentist on my team and the guy raked. But I got 35, 40 games in, and yet I was at home, which I loved, and I was lifting and working out. So we're open to ideas. So yeah, good question. What else?
I don't understand that whole summer league thing, sorry.
No.
So like, if you get in, so help Josh, so if you get into something, how does it work if you, for instance, are far, far away? Are they housed, or
Yeah,
are they
so,
families?
so and Coach Brooks, do you want to answer this one? Because there are leagues that are different.
Right. So for the most part, it is
Host
host families is the way they go about it. There's a lot of people that sign up to host kids. I just got done playing, have yet to hear of a bad host family story. 99% of the time it's like, hey, I had a great time. They were able to provide everything I needed. I've also seen leagues that's like, hey, we don't have any host families. We'll fully furnish a apartment or whatever. We have dorms. We have something. So really, once again, I've yet to hear a bad story about anything. But there's multiple ways. It all depends on the league, the team, the fees, the funding that they all go through. But there's 4 or 5 different options for things like that.
And a lot of those host families, which is great, because there's a family that when I play, I still stay in touch with.
Yeah.
Like, I
Same here.
2 years in a row, and then
Oh. Hey, on that note, David Hess.
Yes.
David Hess pitched here in 12, 13, and 14. Got drafted in the 5th round, played the big leagues for a long time. But anyway, he met his wife. She was, this is kind of weird, but she was like the host family daughter. But he met his wife. I mean, so you never know. So.
Big leaguer. Tell a story about David real quick.
What?
Yes, with his cancer.
Cancer, yeah. So he's a young man, great young man, played here, and got drafted, like I said, in the 5th round. Found his wife in the host league, and anyway, was pitching in big leagues with the Orioles and Rays, maybe I think. And maybe last off season, wasn't feeling good. They found cancer, and you may know a little more, like in his chest area or something.
Yeah.
So they had to do surgery on him and all that, and they found it early. But he was back playing AAA this year, and he had to shut it down, if I'm not mistaken, right? Because it's just a little too weak still, that type of thing. But David's we've had so many, like David's a great young man.
Strong Christian.
Yeah, good kid. So, anything else? We're under an hour, which is awesome. I should have warned you though that it would be an hour. You guys probably thinking, hey, meet and greet down there in 15 minutes. So I normally when I know we're having it, I actually warn parents. This meeting will last roughly an hour. So, anything else? All right. That is almost complete and may be complete. So most scheduling is done midweek, the summer before. I wasn't here last summer. So we're only at 51 games right now. I'm okay with that. I'd like to get to 52, 53, without 56. And so I don't think we're going to get to 56. We may get to 54. We may get to 52. We may stay at 51. I'm being honest with you, I'm struggling finding somebody right now to play because they've all done their schedules. So that's where we're at. But it's a good schedule. Your sons will love that schedule. Yeah. Anything else? All right, we're good, guys. Hey, thank you for your time. I appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Yeah.